So I wanted to speak about another issue. It's actually a very serious subject, a topic that a lot of people don't address, and I feel like in society, in our race, in our color, we sweep it under the rug, hide it under the table, throw it out the window, whatever actions we want to use to describe it, put it off, and not, dealing with, handling, or addressing the situation. Excuse me, I'm kind of here in the middle of eating as well. But the topic of conversation is men, men and them being damaged, men and them having trauma, men and them experiencing trauma, whether it's from molestation, from when they were a child, abuse from when they were a child, um, and even as adults in their relationship, being cheated on, being lied to, being abused, men can experience some of the problems that women have and are experiencing. And I think the societal norm is to laugh at that, mock that, and not even address it as serious because, I remember when I was growing up, if a guy was to say, like, some older woman slept with them, it would be like, oh my God, you the man. And it would be glamorized. Whereas if a girl says, hey, some older guy slept with me without my consent, it would be considered rape, right? Now, trauma is trauma, no matter who the person, no matter the gender, walks of life, trauma is trauma. And what I've come to realize from my own experiences, as well as speaking to others about their experiences, a lot of these men are damaged because of those traumas, and their traumas are not dealt with. They're not addressed because whether it's ego, pride, statistic, we don't want to be categorized. We don't want to be that stigma. We don't want the stigma that comes with it. So we don't address these things, and thus we have a lot of adult males who are adults because of their age, but they're still suffering from that inner child that was damaged, that inner child that was abused, that inner child that was molested, that inner child that had all this trauma that they didn't deal with. So the inner child is manifesting itself in its adult life, and they don't know how to give, receive, or handle your love. Now, I'm gonna say a word, something that was said to me that I never forget. Hurt people hurt people. I'm gonna say that again. Hurt people hurt people. How I try to put that into perspective, right? Let me put this plate down. And I'm a Marvel fan. I love me some Marvel. I love me some DC. I love anything action, comics, anything of that nature. And Batman, Batman's signal was always like a beacon. You see that in the sky, Batman's needed, right? But on that beacon or whatever, there's a projector. The light is projected, but there's an image that's projected in that light, which is the bat signal. Now, never will you see that switch turn on and you'll see a Superman signal in the sky. No, that symbol is a bat signal. So whatever it is projected, it's going to be that symbol. When you are damaged, when you are hurt, when you are suffering trauma, you have your excess baggage, you're not going to project happiness, love, all sorts of stuff. You're going to project what you are experiencing, what you've experienced, what you are dealing with. Hurt people hurt people. Hurt people will not project happiness. We cannot hurt a person that's truly hurt will never fully, no matter how much hard or how hard we try, we will never be able to fully give back in the relationship the way we're supposed to. We can't give of ourselves. And I'm going to use my recent example, my relationship, because I always try to start with me. The only thing I can correct, the only thing in this life that I'm in control of is myself. My actions, my thoughts. I can't even control my kids. I can tell them what to do to a certain extent. They can still choose to disobey. I can control myself. So I'm in my relationship, and It started this way. And listen to what I'm saying with this, because not a lot of people have the balls, the courage, the nerves, the strength to tell you this. But here it is, I'm with this person and he goes, Latoya, take your time with me. I got a lot going on. I've been through a lot. Take your time with me. Now, that's one. Not a lot of people is able to even identify their hurt. Not a lot of people could even say, this hurt me. This is my trauma. Be careful with me, right? Women, we can say that a lot more often than men. Not a lot of men can say that. So here it was. He already had one up. He was able to identify he has trauma and say, Latoya, be patient with me. Don't rush. Take your time with me, right? Now, granted, you can say, because I have said it myself, if this person knew he had all this trauma, he shouldn't be in a relationship. But let's be honest. I'm going to examine myself. I have trauma. I have trauma from my past relationships, my past situation, past things that has happened to me as a child, that I had no control of. And that has shaped that inner child, that damaged inner child has shaped the woman that I am. Now, I have my trauma, but I've still seen people, this person in particular, when I saw him, it was like an instant attraction. I knew that I had trauma, especially coming out of one relationship that was horrible. I should have dealt with those trauma, but I jumped in it because of the attraction, the desire, the longing, the want. So, granted, he could have known he had his trauma and walked away. Listen, I know I'm not ready for this woman. Let me walk away. But reality is we don't always do that. So he got his trauma that he's saying, hey, I got it. I may not know specifically in details what the trauma is, but he's saying take your time with me. I've been through a lot, I got a lot going on, take your time with me. Identify trauma number one. So here I am with my trauma, and then not only do I have my own trauma, but I also have my religious beliefs that I'm trying to hold firm to finally in my life. So I go to him, and I'm not only do I have trauma, but now I have stipulations. Listen, I'm not gonna have sex with you until we're married. You got to be on board. This is my thing. If you don't want to be on board, you could go. And his response was, "Hey, that's perfect. I'm trying to do the same thing." So we are in line. We're coexisting. We are in line, in tuned. We both have trauma. Check. We both want to wait for sex, wait for marriage. Check. Right. Everything, we are like on one accord. But here's where it differs, ladies and gentlemen. Women, we have our groups, whether it's a woman support group, whether it's our homegirl, whether it's a hashtag Me Too. We have things. And we even have the societal norms. Society is used to women being abused, raped, molested. You can almost, in every relationship, hear a girls tell their man, I've been molested, abused, raped, of some sort of the other. So we have that on our side. So we know we have groups, we have a way to speak out. We can speak up, even in a situation where some people didn't speak up. That's why you see now the hashtag Me Too movement is so strong, because now we are getting the voice to speak up. But men don't have that outlet. They don't have that voice, because honestly, if a guy tell a guy, listen, a woman raped me, they start laughing. Megan, what are you talking about? Like, it's not looked at as serious. So these men have these trauma that they're gonna project on who else but you. They have this trauma. They're not being dealt with. They're not being handled. We're pushing it under the table, throwing it to the side, throwing it out the window, and they are hurt. And they come into the relationship, and you know what you're gonna get? Hurt. Because hurt people hurt people. He's not gonna project happiness and love and that if he's still hurt. And there were times in a relationship where this guy, literally, my love, my efforts, my determination, my everything that I was doing, like I was throwing them at him at like darts, trying to get him to see. Listen, I'm a good woman. I'm smart. I'm pretty. I do what I'm supposed to do. I got my own house. I got my own car. I did what I'm supposed to do. Like I'm trying. I take care of my kids. I'm all of this. I'm throwing it at him. But everything I try to throw at him, he was taking it in reverse. She's crazy. I didn't find out till the end that he told somebody he thought I was crazy in the beginning. I'm trying to help him. If he said, listen, he wanted to be a truck driver. I want to be a truck driver. I'm on the phone trying to get, how can we get a CDL? What price is going to cost? How many weeks is going to be? How will that coincide with work? Every truck, this is me. My head is turning because my brain is spinning. And women, we do that. We do that. So when I say we do that, don't think for a second that the women before you that he was with did not try to help him with his trauma. Women, we are nurturers at heart. So if he was with somebody else, best believe they tried to help him with that trauma. He may not even know how to help himself with that trauma. This is why the mental, emotional, physical help is needed. But we, once again, with that stigma, that fear, that ego, that complex, we don't want to go out there and get it. So these men, they're with us and they are traumatized. They have their own issues, their baggage. Us as women, though, we want to, you give me your, come on, babe, I'll help you unpack. I got baggage, you got baggage. I remember that song. I've got issues, you got them too. You give mine all to me and I'll give mine to you or whatever. Not everybody can accept your issues because not everybody can give you theirs. Some of them haven't even identified what their issues are. They haven't even identified their traumas. They haven't even dealt with their traumas. So here it was. This guy was like, listen, Latoya, I need you to be patient. Take your time with me. And I'm jumping there like, here's the darts, 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 darts. Because in my mind, I know me. I know the type of woman I am. You understand? If I'm with you, I'm devoted, I'm loyal, I don't cheat, I don't lie, I try my best to be the best woman. So I'm thinking of that, but not listening to what this man just said. He got issues. He's damaged. He got trauma. So when things don't work out the way I want, if he's not moving the way I want, I'm tight. I'm talking to my homegirl. This. But the reality is I jumped into trauma with trauma. And we need to really address this issue with our men because a lot of it starts from the home, the moms, the parents, the sisters, the brothers. We definitely got to address the trauma. The worst part is he told me in some details about his trauma. He said, I was molested as a child by relatives. But I looked at that, I heard it, but I didn't listen. You understand? But if it was me and I said that to him, I want him to be sympathetic, understanding, empathetic, all of that. But I ignored his trauma. Right? So here it is. He also mentioned like relationships. He was in a relationship with someone, caught him cheating. They had the guy come out the closet. Like, first of all, they had the guy hide in the closet. Then the guy came out the closet pretending to be gay. Girl, I can't find nothing in this closet that I could wear. Only to find out in the end that that was her man. She was having a whole relationship with this man. But what do you think that impression is going to leave on this guy? You lied, tried to pretend like it was your homeboy, a gay homeboy, only to find out you were cheating on me. Guess what that leaves? Mistrust, fear, trauma. We as women, we always know how to identify ours. Yeah, that nigga cheated on me. I got trauma, so I don't trust you. But what about men? So he had other issues, situation. I'm not even gonna get into this because that's his private business. But I only gave this information to say a lot of these men are traumatized. They have trauma. Yes, that doesn't diminish ours, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't highlight theirs. I'm not going to take responsibility for what he did wrong in the relationship because trauma or not, we are adults and we are in charge of our and in control of our actions and our thoughts. So whatever he did that caused the relationship to dissolve, that's him. But I, as a woman, I know myself. And I'm always honest with myself. I know where I was wrong. That dude told me he had trauma. And I was trying to pretend like I can be. Sometimes as women, we think as women that what we got, our little rainbows and our little magics down there, is better than the next person. No. The only difference between another woman and me, her parts might be bigger. She might know how to work it better. But the fact is, we got the same parts. Period. We were born with the same parts. You understand? And women, we all have, even the worst of us, have nurturing inside of us. So if he's been with other relationships in the past, best believe they tried what I was trying. But all my efforts, me saying, babe, let's sit down. Let's get you in school. Let's try to get you signed up for college. Let's do this. Let's do that. Guess what? He looked at me like I was crazy because this man has his trauma, his stress, his problems, his issues to the point where he couldn't even accept my love when I was giving it to him. How can he accept love when he don't even know love himself? He's probably sitting there hating himself. 6'2", 200, maybe 200 or something, maybe 100 and something pound. He probably look at himself like he ain't worth shit. And instead of me sitting here trying to build him up and helping, I'm trying to force feed him the love that I know I could provide. But the reality is, we could love him all we want if they don't love themselves. If they have not dealt with their traumas, they're not going to be good for you or anybody else. Now, granted, there are times where if a man, I hear the people say it all the time, well, the guy definitely didn't love you, because if he did love you, that's not true. There are some men, yes, who can meet a woman and the desire, the attraction is so strong, it can help them to spark something inside of them to move, to react, to do, but not all the time. Some men are not as strong. You understand? And that's not in a sense of saying they don't really care about. I don't think that this guy didn't care about me. I honestly believe that he did love me like he said he did. But what he doesn't know how to do is expound on that love, to grow with that love, to continue with that love because of his trauma. And I'm saying that because I know I have messed up relationships in my past because of my trauma. Because of stuff that I've been through, that I didn't address, that I'm afraid to address. But we as Black people, we can't be afraid anymore to address our issues, our mental hurt, our physical. And I'm going to say you hurt because I know the word issue sounds, people don't like it, sounds like you're crazy. We're not crazy, but we're human. We are enduring. We've been through a lot, from our ancestors down, from the slavery down to racism down. We've been through too much. So yes, we have trauma in every sense of the word. We have trauma. But what we need to do is what I'm trying to do now. Talk therapy. This is a purpose for my channel. Honestly, my relationship with him is the reason why I decided to do this channel, because before I sit here with the thoughts in my head and my trauma and isolate myself and my thoughts to a point where I become weak-minded, or not even weak-minded, but hurt to the point where I can't love or give love or receive love or understand love or accept love or see love. I'm doing my talk therapy. You understand? But we need to tap into those outlets. Get therapy, get counseling, get a friend, a buddy, somebody you can confide in. Release, vent. Talk about it. Spread the word. But keeping it pent up is just keeping the trauma. And we are not going to evolve as a person, as a human, as a people. We can't grow if we are stuck with our trauma. Hurt people hurt people. We're going to continuously get into these relationships. And it's going to be a line, a lineage, a freaking thread of hurt people going on to hurt people. Once again, I'm not trying to minimize what he did, the hurt he did. What he did was real and it hurted. And this moment, to this moment, there was no apology, no I'm sorry, no I was wrong, I shouldn't have done that. Because honestly, when we are so hurt, another thing we become is so defensive. We're so defensive of ourselves because we don't want to accept that through our hurt, we hurt you. So we're going to defend ourselves and know it's you. We never point the finger back at us. Whenever you point at that person, that thumb is always going to accuse you. Your conscience could either accuse or excuse you. But whenever you point, remember, your thumb is pointing back at you. There's always something that you did or did not do or could have done better. So I say this to say, people, men and women alike, women, we know our support. We know our groups. We know the rally we got behind us. Let's rally behind these men, because some of them are hurt. Some of them are damaged. Some of them have trauma, and I can help you unpack all you want. But if that suitcase got a lock and key and a padlock and a freaking staple, there's no way I can get through it, fellas. You got to help me help you. A matter of fact, better yet, you got to help yourself so I can come and continue to expound and build on what you've already started. If not, you're only going to continue to damage me, and I can't be damaged. I can't be damaged. My last relationship had me so low, I was sitting here wondering if life really matters right now. But I can't have me thinking that way, because I got 3 people that I got to live for. Your damage cannot come. You can't project that on me. And I don't want to project mine on you. So I'm doing my talk therapy. I'm doing my sessions. I'm finding my outlet. We got to find ours. Find yours. Fellas, find yours. I don't think it's funny. And I accept and I listen and I understand you've been hurt. I understand you've been hurt. You understand? Drop a comment. Let me know what you feel, man.